scaling in and scaling out. What are these and how do they work in practice for you?
Yeah, so scaling in is this idea that you're adding to your winners, and obviously scaling out is sorry. So let's do the first one. So when you're adding to your winners, so what you're doing is you've got a company you really like, you take an initial position. If it starts to show signs of going up, I might add straight away if it's really good value or whatever. Or I'm looking for things like breakouts. So I'm looking for a level like it might butt up against £3 for a while, and then when it breaks through, I'll buy more, assuming it's still good value. If the value don't stack up, I'm not going to add to it. In terms of scaling out, it's just that thing that the position does well and it grows and grows and grows, and you just think, right, I'm going to top slice some, top chop, take some off the top, just to lower the risk because things can still go.
How do you scale into positions?
That's that thing really about, I tend to probably add a couple of times. So I'll buy, say, a 2% position first off. Then when there's a breakout or some kind of significant move or something that's happening, it just makes me think, right, I need to buy more. I'll buy another %. And then if it still keeps going up, and if it's still, it must, whenever you add to a position, it still must stack up on valuation. It's no good buying a share at £1. It runs up to £5 and you've made a fortune. If you're going to buy some more, well, you're too late. You should have been, when it was £1, you should have been buying a load more at 125, a load more at 150, really building up your position then to really maximise when it goes up. So the valuation must still stack up. I mean, it's theoretically possible. You could buy a share at £1, it could go to a £5. It could still be good value, but you've got to check that valuation and understand how it's looking.
So I was going to ask, how do you scale positions to risk?
Really, the scaling to risk, I use market capitalisation as a proxy. And I suppose in practice what I'm doing is I'm saying if it's an AIM stock, I'll only put, say, 3-4% in it at the most. If it's a FTSE 250, I might do 4-5%. If it's FTSE 100, I might do 5-6%. It's scaling to the perceived risk, or that's really how I do it.
Pete, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Really good, yeah. It's been hard work.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Great to meet you, Alex. Cheers.
I must buy on a rising scale. I don't buy long stocks on a scale down. I buy on a scale up. Now, Arthur Huprich, sometimes known as Art Huprich of Raymond James, said, don't average trading losses, meaning don't put good money after bad. Adding to a losing position will lead to ruin. You can see that this stock continues to appreciate, and now it's currently in the 700s. Now, the stock price was just $20 and $30 per share in the 1990s. And if you would have purchased 1,000 shares during that time, it would have cost you around $30,000 to purchase that stock. Now, currently the stock price is around $740. So let's just say $700 in order to reduce some of that investment capital of $30,000 to make numbers simple. So on your 1,000 shares that you invested, you would be up or profitable of over $700,000. Now, if you only invested $15,000, let's just say you didn't have $30,000, you still would have been ahead by $350,000. Now, on the flip side, if you would have doubled your investment and invested $60,000 or 2,000 shares of stock in the 1990s, right around that $25 mark, you would be up about $1.4 million today. Let's take a look at this example of Priceline. Priceline in 2009 was around $100 a share, and now it's $1,200 a share. This stock continues to move up higher and higher. Even if you didn't purchase 1,000 shares right away, you might have started out with 10 shares. Then you might have purchased another 20 shares as the stock continues moving higher. Then again, you could share, and now it's $1,200 a share. This stock continues to move up higher and higher. Even if you didn't purchase 1,000 shares right away, you might have started out with 10 shares. Then you might have purchased another 20 shares as the stock continues moving higher. Then again, you could have purchased another 20 or 30 shares. Over time, you could have got to 100 shares, 500 shares, or 1,000 shares and continued to stay in profitability. Now, this stock again would have continued to make you money time and time again as that stock continued to move up to higher prices. As you can see, scaling into Priceline over time, even if you didn't have a ton of money to invest, would have kept you in profitability. And the same thing with AutoZone, because you're scaling in on a step-by-step basis.
大家好，歡迎繼續收睇自己做 Fund Man。今日就繼續有豐盛資產管理董事黃國英 Alex 喺度嘅。英 Sir 你好，
你好，大家好啊。
英 Sir 啊，尋日咧你就講到三注法則嘛，係咪即係咩都分開三注買咁解咧？
其實冇錯噶，因為好多人咧睇啱隻股票嘅時候咧，都未必會即刻買嘅。通常咧，佢哋可能會覺得個位太高啦，想等下調整咁樣。但係其實呢個心態其實係錯嘅，因為咧你覺得好好嘅話咧，爭嗰幾個 percent 其實冇乜太大所謂。咁所以咧就應該分開幾注入市會比較好啲。
嗱，三注顧名思義咧，即係好似分做三份咁樣啦。係咪平均咁樣分做三份咧就可以咧？
咁又唔係喎，第一注咧其實可以買細啲嘅。咁啊買得一手都好，係唔係都入咗去先，買住少少先啦咁樣。因為好多人咧，佢哋咧冇行動，喺度一味喺度等。但係萬一嗰個股價咧，從此咁樣跌都唔跌，飛到咁樣去嘅話咧，會搞到個心理咧好唔平衡啊！
咁又係啊，即係我做完一大輪功課之後咧，衝入去，但係就係因為爭嗰2、3毫子買唔到，結果跟住見到個價咧就不斷咁飆上去。你話嗰下係咪真係火都嚟埋啊？
係㗎，10蚊唔買嘅話咧，你去到15蚊你就更加唔會買。但係如果你10蚊買咗啲嘅話咧，去到15蚊嘅時候咧，你反而又唔係好介意去高追喎，因為溝埋都係12個半啫嘛。咁所以如果係咪都衝咗入去一注先嘅話咧，咁跌咧你固然唔怕加啦，升嘅話咧你又唔係好介意去高追喎，咁就可以移除咗你高追嗰個心理陰影啦。咁即係可以幫我哋戒甩之前我哋所講嗰種畏高症嘅問題咯。
即係買股票咧，真係要眼明手快啊！我哋翻去要練多啲先得嚇。英 Sir，咁第二注咧，係咪真係高追嗰注咧？
唔係，第二注係指你原先諗住嗰個入市位嗰度咧去買嗰一注嚟嘅。咁就不過你買完呢一注之後咧，如果個股價再跌咧，就千祈唔好再加啦。咁啊，股市咧唔係善堂嚟嘅。如果個價一路咁跌嘅話咧，好可能係代表你嘅嗰間公司咧出現咗問題。你最初個睇法咧，可能係錯晒嘅。咁由於呢個問題真係好嚴重，咁所以我哋咧一定要出句金句，等大家記住先得。係啦，就係越跌越溝，隨時揸兜。
有金句咧就唔怕唔記得啦。英 Sir 提醒我哋咧，記住啊，見到間公司股價係咁不斷跌嘅話，有機會代表係側邊嘅，要小心嘅。英 Sir，咁第三注咧，頭先你就話第二注之後咧，如果見到股價係咁跌咧，就記住唔好加啊嘛。嗱，我調翻轉去推論啦，係咪第三注即係見到個股價升翻啊，咁就衝入去咧，啱唔啱咧？
啱啊，你果然有慧根啊！第三注咧就係一定要等個股價咧喺個回升咗之後咧先至好追。個原因咧正正係好似你有頭先所講啦，要避開嗰啲死亡漩渦嘅產生。咁你有翻個上升動力先至入市咧，就會穩陣好多噶啦。咁而呢一注咧，其實買大啲都冇所謂，但係咧就一定要定翻個指示位，就係你啱啱見過嗰個低位，低翻少少，跌穿咗嗰個位就止蝕啦。
哇！原來分注係咁重要㗎，唔單止可以解決到我哋嘅心理問題啦，仲可以控制埋個風險添。今集時間暫時講到呢度先，下一集咧，英 Sir 就會同大家講下咧落場啦，點樣揀股會揀得穩陣啲咧，唔好咁易中伏咧，記住留意啦，拜拜。